What's going on, everybody? VHS Tacos is back. Cut through the old crap cake. You know why we're here. I know why we're here. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We had a chance to catch this in IMAX. Not just IMAX, but IMAX 3D. As you can see, that might be a bit of an issue. However, it really wasn't. It wasn't all that bad.
It was. I hate it.
For some people. But we will get to that at the end. Give you a very simplified version of a plot breakdown here. America Chavez shows up in our reality. Doctor Strange has to protect her. She's being hunted down by demons and evil entities, but we aren't sure by who. And that is essentially the course of the movie as it unfolds, and of course we find out what everything is. Scott Derrickson, the guy who directed the first one, he's out. Sam Raimi's in. Of course, you'll know Sam Raimi from the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire and the Evil Dead franchise. However, and we'll address spoilers here, no, there is no Tobey Maguire.
No.
No Spider-Man, even though that would have been a great reunion. And speaking of spoilers, we kind of have to address the fact that a day or two ago, the official Marvel social media pages, they pretty much put the kibosh on all of their posts concerning Doctor Strange. They posted an image that said, "See you on the other side of the multiverse," and then locked the comments, which, after seeing this movie...
It's a good choice.
you can see why. For starters, we'll open with the acting. I mean...
oh my gosh.
I don't know how many times that this is Benedict Cumberbatch's turn as Doctor Strange. This is his second solo movie. Really, the first time he has a sequel in 6 years. The first one came out in 2016. Of course, he showed up in
I never saw the first one.
She didn't see it.
And I wouldn't mind not seeing this one, but go ahead.
Whatever. Anyway, so 6 years has passed in our actual physical timeline on Earth that we've seen Doctor Strange get his own movie. And of course, a lot of stuff has happened. Avengers and Spider-Man No Way Home... multiverses and Loki and everything. WandaVision. A lot has happened. Benedict Cumberbatch, he's fantastic, and he's actually pulling triple duty here. He plays 3 versions of Doctor Strange. We have Doctor Strange at the beginning with the ponytail, who is, he's arrogant minus the humbleness. He's you know, make the sacrifice for the greater good kind of play.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. Then of course we have our present day Stephen Strange, who is
arrogant yet
he's
humble.
Arrogant, he's humble. Rachel McAdams is finally back.
She's actually really good.
For the first time in 6 years, she's back, and she plays 2 versions of Christine. We get a very, very small version, a continuation of the one that we had in the first Doctor Strange movie at her wedding, but not too strange. And, you know, there's still a little bit of chemistry there, but Christine has moved on, because that's what people do. They move on. We also get a multiverse version of Christine.
She's so cool.
She is cool. She stands on her own 2 feet. She stares the bad person in the eye and doesn't flinch as much. And she is fantastic. And they also dyed her hair, which looks really, really, really good.
Yeah,
hopefully
it
comes
really nice.
back as that, actually. We do have Wong, and God, the banter.
He's always fantastic.
He's just amazing. The banter between
amazing.
Wong and Strange, whoever decided on those 2 being cast together, the battle of the Benedicts, they are amazing. They are incredible together, and he does have more to do here. There's more drama to his role. I don't want to dare butcher the actress's name that plays America Chavez, but I haven't seen her in anything before. She's great, you know? I mean, America Chavez, of course, her powers are that she can multiverse hop. The original plan was to include her back in No Way Home before they scrapped that, which is totally fine. You didn't want to pull away from, of course, you know, the big trio. But here, she fits very, very well. She has her own story. She has her own troubled past, which she is the cause of, but she doesn't know why. And then, of course, you know, it's a coming-of-age story of sorts, growing into her own powers by the end of the movie, and she does a good job with it. And of course, the visual representation of her powers is fantastic.
And let's not forget Miss Wanda herself.
All right, then you got Wanda
doing what she's got to do.
Elizabeth Olsen is just fantastic
in this.
She's been a really good Wanda. You know?
She's been a great Wanda.
The progression of her character has been amazing. And, you know, after WandaVision, you're like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of redemption for her. But then you see her mess with the Darkhold, and you're like, ooh, okay. And then this movie happens. And
she's crazy.
There's no coming back. But she plays that crazy psycho, like something has snapped in her brain.
But then you still have hope. It's like, oh, but she's still Wanda.
Right. Yeah, there's no hope. They need to kill her. Now let's get to some extra additions to the cast.
Yes.
So we multiverse hop in this movie. People, mega spoilers. I swear, if you want to just stop here and go see the movie, I'm not going to blame you.
Go.
We have the Illuminati. As teased in the trailer, of course, you have Patrick Stewart back as Charles Xavier in a green suit, in his yellow vestibule of sorts that can float. But when he comes out, the X-Men 97 guitar theme starts to play a little bit. And it's like, oh my god. So are you trying to tell me that X-Men show is like canon in the MCU? That's so incredible. Oh my god. But it doesn't stop there.
No.
Okay?
Not at all.
We have Black Bolt. But not just Black Bolt. We have Anson Mount, who played Black Bolt in that Inhuman show that they tried a few years ago. But he's amazing here. You know, he was a solid actor. That show didn't do him justice, but he's in the costume. He's intimidating. Of course, he doesn't speak. He does a little bit of sign language. But when he opens his mouth, he actually destroys their universe's Doctor Strange because he just can't be left alive. And he says, "I'm sorry, friend," and it just literally vaporizes him with his words. This Black Bolt is amazing. We have something I wanted to see on the screen ever since they made her announcement in What If. We have Peggy Carter, Captain Carter. Haley Atwell shows up. She looks
amazing.
She has the shield. Like,
amazing.
God, can we get her like another movie or a show?
Looked really
she
cool.
is a wonderful human being.
She did awesome.
She is incredible. We have Captain Marvel. However, a bit of a what if situation that we didn't see in the show. What if Carol Danvers didn't turn into Captain Marvel? And it was, in fact, her friend, played by Lashana Lynch. And she's intimidating, she's powerful, she's strong, the suit looks incredible. And then we have something that caused the entire theater to erupt and explode.
My boy.
Someone teleports in. We see the little teleporter line go up, and then whoop, who steps forth? None other than John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards himself.
I love him so much.
And when I tell you that the theater went ham, when I tell you
so cool.
it brought that house down.
Gosh.
Flawless. Just a flawless Reed Richards. The suit looks so incredible. Cool. And I have a bit of a theory about that, but we can address. You want to address it now? Okay. So, as you know, director John Watts, the guy who did the last 3 Spider-Man movies, some time ago, he was attached to direct a Fantastic Four movie. But then a week or so ago, out of the blue, John Watts departs ways with the movie. No longer the director. It was a mutual whatever. And then I'm starting to put 3 and 3 together to get 12. And John Krasinski decided not to direct the 3rd Quiet Place movie. But that's his baby. That's his bread and butter. Why not? So having him pop up here as Mr. Fantastic. And as we know, of course, when it comes to multiverse madness stuff, it tends to be sometimes, if the plot calls for it, the same person playing a different version of the character. Just like Benedict Cumberbatch plays 3 variations of Strange. What's to say we don't get another variation of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic? I'm all for it. And they show his stretching powers, which look flawless, for the very brief time that we get them. Because then, and this is where I love Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi said, okay, I'm going to inject a little bit of horror element into this. Don't worry, it won't be crazy. Until the entire Illuminati is absolutely murdered.
Mama Wanda went cray-cray.
Mama Wanda went cray-cray. So she slices Agent Carter in half. She explodes Black Bolt's brain. And they don't shy away from it.
No.
She goes into Professor X's mind to snap his neck. She crushes Captain Marvel. She literally peels John Krasinski like a banana and then pops him like a balloon at the end. All without flinching. This is a brutal, nasty. This is the most.
Like this throughout the whole movie. Like as soon as she snaps, game over.
I mean, this is very intense. You kind of get a feeling for the intensity at the beginning of the movie when Doctor Strange was starting to get stabbed and sliced and attacked and everything like that. And you're like, ooh, wow, that's kind of nasty. But I mean, the first Doctor Strange was a little intense too. No, this dials it up to 50. I don't know how they got some of this stuff past the censors, but I'm so glad that they did.
They really did.
Visually, this is an amazing movie. Visual effects.
It's hard when it's in 3D. You can't get a full scope.
You can. So the last 3D movie that I saw was Mad Max Fury Road, 2015.
I think the last one I saw was like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. No.
Spy Kids 3D?
Spy Kids 3D.
It was great.
Terrible. Give me a headache.
Well, I mean, look, of course everybody's mileage on 3D will vary, but from an objective point of view, this 3D, they always said that this version of 3D was supposed to give things depth. Like if you see someone standing in the background, it's supposed to be kind of pushed out far. It does do that here. You do get a feeling, especially there's one scene in particular that stands out, is where Wong is climbing up the side of the Darkhold Mountain, and as he's looking up, you feel that distance. Like it does feel Like, it is elongated out, which is impressive. So I will give it credit.
It's not impressive.
Visually, though, in terms of visual effects, in terms of
the
crazy
colors,
multiversal madness, this is
different textures.
when we first
beautiful.
start diving through multiverses before we get to the Illuminati verse. I mean, we're going through, God, what, maybe 25, 35
I don't know, but they were all very beautiful and very vivid, and even the ones that weren't vividly color.
Yeah.
We're just like
it's impressive to look at.
Yeah.
It's wild to look at, and of course, it does help that you have Sam Raimi, who is such a very visual director. There's the fight between Doctor Strange and then evil Doctor Strange from What If, and they're throwing music notes at each other.
So
and
that was probably like my favorite scene.
And of course, Danny Elfman, who's doing the music, he said, "Oh, okay, this is what we're doing, and I'm going to have an absolute blast scoring ever-loving shit out of this." And
cool.
It's incredible to watch. This movie, for me, was everything I wanted from Doctor Strange. It is a wild movie. You know, if the motto of the first one was forget everything you think you know, then you need to forget everything you think you know for this one, squared, because it gets crazy. It starts off wild and it ends even crazier. My rating. Look, why do we ask? You know, 5 out of 5. We'll see again. Yeah.
Maybe my rating would be a little bit better if it wasn't in 3D.
Okay,
I feel like I was so distracted because like the glasses kept like sliding down because I have big glasses already. So I mean, and I just don't like 3D. So it was hard for me to really get into it.
And that's fair. Be mindful of that. If 3D is an option, you know, sometimes it might be the only option available. I would say just kind of hold off if you're weary of it. Don't waste an experience.
It was exactly what I expected from a Doctor Strange movie. I didn't see the first one.
What's the number?
I'll give it a 2.75.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi, ignored by Mrs. Taco, is in theaters now. It is crazy. But wait, there's more. We do have some after credit and stuff to go over. Doctor Strange, right before the movie crashes to the credits, he's having a moment here, and he kind of collapses on the ground, throws himself back, and there's a third eye that opens up, which means that the Darkhold has kind of started to seep into his bloodstream a little bit, into his soul. And so the dark magic there, that'd be very interesting to explore in the next one.
Something else we saw that
Something else is very interesting. So they do explain in the movie that if one variant is in one universe for too long, it causes, I believe, an event which collapses both universes and destroys them. Portal opens up, or really a multiversal slice opens up, if you will. It kind of looks like Dormammu's domain from the first Doctor Strange movie. Out comes this blonde-haired, purple-suited clad Charlize Theron,
very cool,
saying, "Hey, I'm gonna need some help." And Doctor Strange is like, "Yo, I'm in." Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he said.
Charlize Theron is playing Clea. From anybody that knows that from the comics, that is Clea Strange, Doctor Strange's wife, which, welcome to the universe, Charlize, and glad to have you. So that is exciting. And then, of course, we do have an after-credit scene, which does feature a continuation of a bit of a gag, because since this is a Sam Raimi movie, his friend Bruce Campbell is back. No, he doesn't play Mysterio, but he plays a pizza ball maker in the future, and you know, he gets a spell put on him, and Doctor Strange says it'll last a couple weeks. So we see the aftermath of that as Bruce Campbell's still beating himself up. He stops beating himself up, turns toward the camera, and says, "It's over. It's over." Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Go see it though.
It
Don't
defines,
see it in 3D, please.
If you can see it in IMAX, do, because it does take advantage of the full IMAX expansion for the entirety of the movie.
Maybe even Dolby if you can.
Dolby would knock your socks off.
That would be cool.
That would knock your socks off.
See it in Dolby.
See it in IMAX. See it in both. This movie's incredible. I love Doctor Strange. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I will always love Rachel McAdams. More of her, please. And until next time, guys, this has been VHS Tacos signing off. I'm going to go find my multiversal counterpart, probably with less amazing facial hair. Adios.
Bye.